Hey, King Devin. And there's a reason why I got that. Hey, Slick. We're going to wait for King of Portals and a few other people to get in here. Hey, Sophia. I'm doing all right. It's been a weird day, sort of night, because had a later shift and stuff happened earlier today. But yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Someone chatted in the Discord. I don't know if that's King or not. Oh. One king reminding the other king. Alright, so we got Sophia, we got King Devin, we got Slick. Wait for like a few more people and then we'll go ahead and get started. And I'm really excited to talk about it too. Welcome, King of Portals. We got 4 people in here, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And considering you said you got an early day, I'm going to do this mainly for you, especially King of Portals. So, I bet you guys are wondering why I have Shane and Thorn in the background this time. It's because a certain moment with Thorn mirrored Shane over here, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But before I do, you guys always get the first crack at your opinion on the 3rd episode. What were your thoughts? How did you like the 3rd episode? Honestly, I thought it was great. I didn't expect anyone major to die after the first 2 killed so many characters. Yeah, it did. The second one killed more characters than the first. The first one mainly killed Okafor, but the second one killed more. The third one, nobody died at all, really. I like the flashback with Jadis and Rick, with her explanation on trading people and her wanting to move up the ranks of CRM, along with Michonne taking a deeper dive of the CRM. Okafor, Nat, Aiden, the other guy. That I'm laughing about somebody else commenting about it. I slightly laughed at that moment, but it's funnier when someone else talks about it. Because now she got that promotion. Yeah. Thorne really liked Okafor. Thorne definitely knows about Rick and Michonne, though. Yeah. I didn't think anybody was going to talk about her haircut at all. Rick still has a great sense of humor after all this. Well, you gotta. It's like being at a place you don't really want to work at. You gotta have a sense of humor, otherwise you just become a jerk. And Rick has kept that up, even when he's angry. Thorne was testing Rick and Michonne, so she knows what's up. After all the hardships. Yeah. Did I miss anything? No, just everybody talking about Jadis's bad haircut. She knew Rick pulled his gun on her. He lied and said he was protecting Thorne, but he really was protecting Michonne. Yeah, I think we all could infer that, but yeah, exactly. After that scene with her in the woods aiming at Michonne, just like Shane aimed at Rick. Yeah. Why do you think I have this in my background? It's all right, King. You got to go to bed. No one's going to stop you. See you tomorrow for the next episode of Dale's Tale. Yeah, that wasn't really funny, per se. It was more or less dramatic. Yeah. Miss anything? I think I'm going to keep music off from now on, because it lags the screens. And I like the talk she had with the guy who painted the phones. Also, I really want some Shane flashbacks or something. Also, we need Heath. If they don't have it in this series, they need a season 2. Well, unfortunately, Sophia, that's not going to happen because they already said there was going to be, first it was the Walking Dead Summit, and it was going to be 3 hours, or 3 movies, 2 hours long. And then it was 6 episodes, 1 hour long. It's supposed to be a one season standing series, which will wrap up the story of Rick and Michonne. No one, the writers have said it, and the people have said it. Daryl Dixon and Dead City are getting season 2, but people are saying that there's going to be a Ones Who Live season 2, but it's not true. That's just people spreading false rumors. You know what I'm saying? It's like people who keep saying Dragon Ball Super is going to come back, and it hasn't come back in years. So, yeah. And fun fact, the show writer and the creators, they think and they said that The Walking Dead could go on forever. I am not joking. They literally said that the franchise could go on forever. And how would I know all this? You might ask. I'm on the internet 24 frickin' 7. You could do anything with it. That's why I'm doing stuff with it, man. Case in point, right here. Also, my short earlier today is getting pretty friggin' good love. I want a big AAA The Walking Dead video game like Destiny's, but with more options for alternate timelines and better quality that includes seasons 1 through 11. Jadis throwing hints at Rick that you could come to my place if you want to lay with Rick, just like, yeah. I would see, Sophia, I don't know, you were around for the Destiny's gameplay, right? And I stated several times during that if Destiny's does not get a remake or a DLC by the end of 2024, then I'm literally going to rate it lower on the quality of the game because it deserved more than it got. But we'll see. We still got until the end of 2024, and we're already into March, so that time's approaching much faster than I think a lot of us will actually realize. Yeah, she's jealous. Which is exactly what I was just about to say that I wanted to do. So thank you for that. All right. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be talking a lot here, so brace yourselves. Okay. All right. So to start off with, I like the Rick and Jadis flashback because let's be honest, we were going to get that eventually. And showing Jadis with the long hair and everything and detailing it back to then and her. See, I already knew that they had been trading to the CRM for supplies, but getting a clearer grasp on it, Jadis talking to Rick about it, that was nice in detail, even though I kind of already knew that from analysis of the CRM and knowing Jadis and the helicopters and everything. I already kind of knew that, but that was a good little twist that we got there. What else? Now we actually know whose side Jadis is on. At first, at the end of the last episode, I couldn't tell which side she was on. I couldn't tell if she was on her side, the CRM side, or Rick's side. And then this episode, I got a whole detail of her being on the CRM side and wanting to move up completely. Kind of. All except for one thing. What she said to Rick. The two of you together, you can do anything. Is that not a clear-cut giveaway that she still is on Rick and Michonne's side? Even though, you know, as you said, she wanted to lay with Rick in season 7, and there we go again with that right here. So it's once again a very annoying moment to discuss whose side is she on. And my predictions of this episode, just like with the other two, were actually pretty on point. I am surprised with how on point my analysis for each of these episodes are. First episode, I knew it was going to be all about Rick and flashbacks and everything. I pretty much had it right in the ballpark. Same with the second episode, except it wasn't half of the episode being about Michonne and then finding Rick. It was almost the full thing, then finding Rick. So they did more with it than I thought they would. But the third episode, I was actually kind of right only on one aspect. We didn't get a Pearl and Jadis team up like I thought we would, but we got to see both of those characters play a significant role in making sure that Rick and Michonne stay away from each other. If anything, Jadis already knew about Rick and Michonne being there. Thorne was the one who was slowly starting to catch on because she obviously wasn't there, so she wouldn't know. And going back to this picture, this was a awesome freaking parallel. The moment where Thorne aims the gun at Michonne, that was a Shane moment all over again. And that just made Thorne all the more like Jadis. Except not really like Jadis in a way, but that got to show me that I think Thorne doesn't just want Rick to move up in the CRM and stay with her. She wants to be with him. Like, with him. That should have been a clear-cut giveaway. If that Shane parallel taught you nothing, it should have taught you that, yeah, that's definitely a freaking moment that she was like, she wanted to be with Rick, like, actually. And I could definitely see that from the way that she has talked to him and everything else since they met. That's definitely something that I see happening. And I was upset that Rick lied to Michonne and just is trying to get her to leave after Michonne's done everything. But then again, I can't be mad at Rick because if he tries to leave, Jadis will kill everybody. And that's really upsetting regarding Jadis's character. And she'd been given so many chances to redeem herself. And at this point, like, still, once again, that goes back to, like, not knowing which side she's on. And what else? And the guy with the paintings and everything. I'm glad that we got I thought that originally Rick drew those, honestly. That would have given Rick such an artistic feel. He could have been a freaking artist instead of a cop if he had actually drawn those. But to see another guy do it, that's a little upsetting, but definitely it works, you know? And mentioning Carl, man, I didn't cry at that, but that that hit whenever they mentioned Carl. Sad. Uh, but anyways, that was also a very good moment. And I think whenever she said that she wanted to find Rick to the guy, she was trying to get him, because Michonne was losing it, thinking that Rick had got sucked in to the CRM's way of living. But the fact is, she, at that moment, realized that all Rick wants is for them to live. And him, he's just doing what he thinks is right. And ultimately, right now, what seemingly is right. And Michonne and Rick, see, I knew that they were going to have them like get apart in some way, shape, or form, but this is definitely a good way to do it, and not making them just fight and not making Rick go with the CRM. It's literally him trying to save Michonne and everyone from death. So that definitely works out a lot more than I think a lot of people would have thought. And they're like, oh, Rick and Michonne are going to fight? They've been away from each other. They'll just reunite and they'll get away. Well, that just default danced on their entire argument, and that actually makes sense for them to do that. What else? What else? The parallel with Shane, I already talked about that. And throwing out of the train and into the preview of the next episode, I think that Michonne at that point is doing all she can, because I guarantee you they have parachutes. They're not going to die, because imagine if only Travis had that. I just realized. But then again, he was shot fatally. That's a side story. But I believe that in the next episode, that Michonne's going to finally snap some sense back into Rick, and they're finally going to find a way to get out. And if they don't, that's going to be really disappointing. That Rick has literally lost all sense of himself. Imagine if Michonne had gotten to him sooner. Then he would be all down for it. But it's literally the death of Okafor and trying to get away that 5th time, and that stupid little girl who got in the way. Rick's just losing it. And Michonne coming back, it's not what he thought the reunion between them, I think, would have been. But I definitely think they'll find a plan in the next episode. And that's pretty much my thoughts on the episode. It was great. I liked everything. That I pretty much explained everything. Yeah, I know I just talked your guys' ears off. So, the Carl moment hit me too. I really hope Thorne either betrays Rick and becomes like Shane, or she joins sides with him and Michonne and helps them escape. So what are your guys' opinions on the next episode, episode 4? Because we only got 3 more left, and we're done. So what are your guys' opinions on episode 4? What do you guys think is going to happen, or what do you want to happen? think it's going to be them beginning to escape and stuff going really bad for them. Well, stuff's already gone kind of bad so far, so more bad is likely going to happen. But yeah, I agree with that. Well, the green screen's almost perfect where I'm sitting. It's never been that perfect. My opinion on the next episode is that Michonne will keep trying to convince Rick to leave, but then eventually they'll go back. I mean, in a sense with Rick, that might make sense. But I believe that Michonne is finally going to snap reality back into Rick and get him to understand. Yes, that's true. Mentioning RJ, that's another thing. She hasn't mentioned his other kid. And I think the moment she does that, Rick is going to be back in the fold. And we're going to get like the big bad Rick we all know and love. Him cutting off his arm and everything, that was prime Rick in the first episode. And then he's just gone, whoop. Or they could be on the road. Lemonade? No, not you again. You're real funny. Oh, you're. Oh my God. You're so funny that you think you could come back. Do you ever shut the frick up? You know, you thought you would have learned by now that you're never going to become a part of this channel and that you are a frigging waste of a person. So, still haven't learned your little lesson? Oh, you always come back, huh? We'll see about that. Well, that takes care of Lemon Brain. Lemon Brain. Oh, my God. Ah, jeez. You really... And then he wants to go ahead and ask, why can't I redeem myself? Let me think about that for a sec. Let's try and connect the dots here. This is a $1 million question right here. Why can't Lemonhead redeem himself? Maybe it's the fact that he's just the same as Goat. I've given him multiple chances, and he just keeps coming back. Is that enough of an answer? We were having such a good time, too. Why do I feel like this is GOAT? At this point, I would be convinced that those two are like-minded. Since, GOAT's turned to the dark side or whatever. But honestly, I don't care. I got rid of him. So let's get back into the fold here. So you guys already talked about your opinions on the next episode, right? Okay, so King did it. Sophia. What about you, Slick? What are your opinions on the next episode, or what do you want to happen? Is my chat dead? I think every time I block someone on YouTube on the new chat, it messes up the chat. Hold on. So I guess I reloaded the entire chat. Usually it hasn't done that. Usually it's freaking still saved the chat. Oh, Sophia, it's a whole story. So here's what happened. Hold on, my teeth are freaking driving me insane. Because I'm in the end stage of growing in my wisdom teeth. And there's just some days where freaking they hurt. So what GOAT said, Sophia, I had a before stream lined up earlier today, and I was doing it around 4 o'clock because I had a later shift. And originally I was a 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. shift, but they called me in later on account of a call off. But really it was just that they needed people around that time, and they had too many people around my original shift. So I was 3 hours instead of 8 hours, and I would have done the before stream like I usually do had I done my original shift. But because it was later, I wanted to do the before stream early, so I did it around 4, which is why we had nobody, because I don't think any of you were expecting me to do it early, which is fine. But because of that, GOAT was being overly persistent and very, 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 very rude to everybody. And he was cussing them out on Discord and cussing out King of Portals and King Devon and everybody to force them on to the before stream. And you already know how he was freaking like with you. And by the way, King of Portals told me about you on Discord and everything. Like, you guys are cousins apparently. He just didn't want it made known around GOAT because he didn't want him to be more of a creep, which I get. I completely respect that. Nobody is a fan of creeps. But my point is, he kept on getting worse. And at a half an hour, whenever no one else had joined, at that point, he had done so much. I was getting so irritated inside. So I shut off the before stream, canceled it, and then banned him and kicked him from Discord and YouTube permanently. And originally, since I had given him 3 chances on Discord, okay, here's the deal. He has been a fan of the Nick's Topics YouTube channel for over 9 months, 11 months actually, since my What If Rick exiled Shane the remake, along with King Devin and several others. And he also made me a few intros and outros and a thumbnail, okay? And he was a good person. I still am keeping his intros and outros for my channel because I respect it and everything else. But I had given him more than 3 chances on Discord specifically. First, there was an instance where he brought a bunch of people onto my server, which my server for Discord is only for topic discussion and just normal chat. But he brought in a bunch of randos who started talking nonsense and were making a mockery of my Discord. And so I kicked all of them and gave him a warning. And then he did the thing with you, and I didn't really count that. It was just weird. But then, whenever today happened, I'm like, no, that's 3 strikes. You're out of here. I'm sorry. I respect you a lot. I respect you being a fan. I respect you being a part of the channel, but you gotta go. I've given you chances. If you want to be on my channel, you got to follow 3 things. And I made regulations for when you comment and everything. So people see that stuff. But the thing is, I had given him a bunch of chances and he didn't listen. So before I was about to kick and ban him from the Discord first, I was going to give him a chance to say goodbye to everybody and like feel sorry about what he did and like get his head clear. And I was going to give him a chance to say his piece. And if he were going to go peacefully and nicely, then I might have actually given him a 4th chance. I'm actually not going to lie. It was a mixed battle. But then he did something that just set me off and actually got me angry for the first time against a fan. And he told me that Lemonhead was right and that he brought up Lemonhead and started insulting me and cussing me out and threatening me and other people. And I'm like, no, you do not threaten me or any one of my people on my channel. And that's the point where I'm like, no, you're off my channel for good. I don't know how the discussion suddenly turned to GOAT. I think it's because Lemonhead just showed up. But yeah, that's the story. So what did Slick say? I think they're going to run into a lot of problems trying to escape into the CRM, but they will escape eventually. If anything, I think that Lemonade guy was him. And ironically, the governor was right in a way about GOAT being bad. And I was thinking the governor was bad, but no. I was proven wrong on 2 accounts. And hey, I might be an expert storyteller and a freaking smart, actually ultimate smart person, trying to not get myself to freaking cuss or anything. I might be smart as crap, but I am not perfect any way, shape, or form. Honestly, King, if it were GOAT, then I wouldn't really be surprised. Well, after you guys say your piece about that situation, I'm going to get to my thoughts on the next episode and wrap up this here stream with all of our thoughts on the next episode and general discussion, because there's a little bit more that I want to talk about. But you guys, whatever you want to say about the Lemonhead and Goat thing, go ahead. I wasn't here because I was sleeping, and that's okay. Like I said, I'm never going to force any of you to watch my stuff. I am not going to make you guys slaves to the channel and freaking force you to see my content. That wouldn't really make me a good YouTuber. That would make me a jerk. And I've had 6 other YouTube channels beforehand, 7 actually. So if I wanted to make people watch me, I would have probably done that ages ago. King Devin, you should confront him and ask if he was on a second account. Who cares if he was on a second account? Because then he'll try and get back at King or something. I would not talk to them. Any of them. Don't talk to any of them. And that's not me telling you what to do. That's me giving you guys general advice. Especially with all I just told you guys. You guys don't need to get involved with something like that. You get what I mean? If they want to be jerks, then that's fine. That's their own funeral. I almost wish there was a limit on accounts that you could make on YouTube. You get what I'm saying? If there was, I guarantee Nick's Topics wouldn't even exist. Because I'd have so many accounts already. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and say my piece on what I think the next episode is going to bring and what I want to see. So, as I've already said, I think that in the next episode we're finally going to get into Michonne and Rick finding a way to escape, and Michonne better mention RJ. That would be a great moment to get Rick his stride back and everything else. And I think that we're going to see the CRM track them down after they jumped out. And who knows? It's either going to be Jadis and Thorn or both. And it's going to be bad. And I think that Major General Beale, I think he's eventually going to become bigger. Because so far, besides him having kind of cool sword and a bit of power, we haven't seen him amount to too much other than a standard villain. So, who knows? But that's what I think is going to happen. And what I want to see is Rick getting his stride back. I want finally someone to mention Heath, or I want him to be shown. We need Heath back. That's the main thing. I don't think it's the main thing, but we need to know what happened to him. And I thought that in the Jadis and Rick flashback, we were going to get something, because she talked about training people for supplies, but she didn't mention Heath. And I'm like, what? And last but not least, that's pretty much all that I have to say. Yeah, you guys already said your piece, but that's pretty much what I expect for the next one. And all my assumptions have pretty much been on point for how the episodes are going. So I'm glad I'm on point with that. At least Lemonhead showed up toward the end and not like in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? Because we pretty much covered all we need to cover. Anything else you guys want to add? Either about Goat, Lemonhead, the episode, this episode, anything. Oh, now it's starting to glitch out. So you guys have anything to add about today? I'm still wondering if Rick is going to kill Jadis. Probably. That would definitely be a weird twist of fate because Rick has saved. They've both saved each other in a way. Rick saved Jadis from the rule of Negan, kind of. And then Jadis got herself into her own little potholes. Rick then brought her in season 9, and then she saved his life. It's like a role reversal over and over and over and over again. That's probably why I can't figure out what side Jadis is on. But that's pretty much all I needed to cover, and I think we've gotten our opinions out pretty well. She believes in the CRM because they are powerful. Well, they are the most powerful military on the planet. Powerful is an understatement. Uh yeah, kinda, yeah. Um but anyways, how since we've talked about the episode in great detail and everything else, how'd you guys like the short I posted earlier today? If you guys didn't already get the short idea or understand why I do the shorts, then I'll explain. But how'd you like it? Because it's actually getting a lot of love right now. So I believe if Rick can fully convince her to let him go, she might help him, but I feel feeling she's a lost cause. Yeah, probably. What the shorts are going to be about is me putting either cool moments or like cool stories that I did really good on up to a minute long, but it's mainly going to be me going onto the ChatGPT app and asking it in detail about what it thinks would have happened if like, and then I'll type in a story that I've already done before. Like, what if Rick exiled Shane, which is the short that I posted today. And it actually explained it in a pretty good way, honestly. But yeah, I definitely didn't agree with the shorts at first because there really wasn't much that I could do, especially with a minute long. But my dad also helped me figure out stuff like that. And yeah, it definitely will help a lot more. Especially with the short getting so much love today, more than most of my videos do in a day. But not to say my videos, of course, and my movies and everything haven't gotten love. They've gotten plenty of love. Look where I'm at today. But the shorts definitely will add more, especially with ChatGPT. It's a great app. You guys should definitely go check it out. Except you need to explain like almost literally and almost in a fashion like I do to ChatGPT. Otherwise, it will get facts wrong. So you almost have to be completely literal. But that's okay, because if you watch the short that I posted today, even though people are complaining about it, some people came on as like, what is with the camera quality? And I just told them that just like you're seeing me right now, it's just a green screen, but it's off my phone. And apparently the shorts, that's actually gives you a green screen for the shorts on your phone. So now I'm actually able to put my face in front of the ChatGPT picture and then just move out of the way. So I don't even have to switch between frames. And it actually makes it a little easier on my part to read the analysis and to sum up the ChatGPT. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, I definitely think that with how much love it's gotten today, along with the videos and the Q&As and the ones who live streams, this channel will most likely be at 1,000 subs by the end of this month, if not a bit after, which I'm definitely hoping for. I'm getting there little by little. And you guys have been a great help for that. But, you know, I think we learned a lot today. Now, that's kind of random, but I feel like with Goat, Lemonhead, the shorts, and I think that ultimately we learned, and not just me, I think we all learned something today about trolls, about rude people, about how much Rick Grimes freaking slays in The Walking Dead, how much this channel, how much a YouTuber needs to grow, me, and how much the audience, you guys, mean to someone like me. And I think we learned a lot today. And therefore, that completely wraps up the stream happily. I know that was kind of weird, but thank you guys for joining in the after stream. I wanted to extend it because since we didn't have a before stream, I felt like it was right to do an after stream that was long. I mean, I've done hour-long after streams, but since it's later, because of me having to do a rerun of the episode, kind of had to do with what we had to do, because I ain't going to stay up until freaking 1 or 2 a.m., because even before I go to bed here within the next few hours and then get up in the morning to upload the next part, I still want to do a little bit of work. So thank you guys so much for joining the stream today. I hope you guys checked out the short and you like that. And therefore, we're ending it all off nicely. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the next part of Dale's story, next Saturday for the next Q&A, and next Sunday for the next episode. So I will see you guys later.